Don't shoot the messenger.
That's right, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Shoot the Messenger. As always, I am Chris Dickens alongside my cohort,
Just Jinx!
Just Jinx.
Just Jinx. Just Jinx.
The reptilians are going to find you.
Yeah, they seem to have already found you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For those of you that can't see Chris right now, his cheek is kind of swollen because he's got an infected tooth.
I think you're the only one who can't see me right now.
And I think so. Well, you never know. The Reptilian Elite apparently are watching or at least listening to this podcast.
Yes, that means my 2-year-old is a part of the Reptilian Elite.
You never know. I mean, are you sure whose parentage is? Or your parentage? Come on.
Are you saying I'm a reptile? Are you calling me a reptile?
You could be. I don't know.
All right.
Maybe you're trying to throw...
We've done enough reptile stuff to these people.
Yes. So let's go into some other...
You may have been right.
Yes. Of course I'm right, because I'm Jinx. But what am I right about this time?
Hitler maybe went to Argentina, and maybe he's alive.
Yes, I heard about this story.
An elderly man from Salta in Argentina claims that he is the infamous German dictator, Adolf Hitler.
At 128 years old. Evil lives forever.
He spent the last 70 years in hiding, apparently. He claims that he had a fake passport produced by the Gestapo near the end of the war that that he's actually the former Nazi leader.
Yeah, people age differently. It could possibly be it. And, he looks more like Hitler than some of the pictures that people were producing back in 1945 trying to claim that they were Hitler's body and were debunked as being really bad doppelgangers or duplicates or whatever you want to call them. But this guy, you never know. Do some facial reconstruction on him.
Well, the elderly man says, I've been blamed for a lot of crimes that I never committed. Because of that, I have spent more than half of my life hiding from Jews. So my punishment has already been.
I don't think that's enough. No. But if the guy is Hitler, of course, his wife disagrees. She does say he is a Nazi, or she believes he's a Nazi, but she does not believe he's Hitler. And I think
many people, including his wife, 55 years, Angela Martinez, believes that Hermann Gutenberg isn't really Adolf Hitler, but simply suffering from dementia. She claims her husband never spoke about Hitler until approximately 2 years ago when he began showing signs of Alzheimer's.
Yes, and how do you know the dementia isn't just bringing out those memories and finally getting him to confess to something he wouldn't have confessed to when he was lucid?
Maybe. The wife says she believes he was probably a Nazi, but doesn't believe that he's Adolf Hitler.
So say you're a spouse of somebody who claims they were some major war criminal 70 years ago. Would you believe it, or would you be trying to deny it too?
I would hide it. And I think he knows his end is coming, and that's why he's just like, look, I'm Hitler.
Coming clean. What are you going to do to me?
128.
That's insane. Speaking of old people, Amelia Earhart would have been 120 this year if she hadn't disappeared. And there's an image of her that pops up in the media this week or last week.
Maybe she never did disappear. Maybe.
According
to the History Channel, they released a whole, I think it was like a little mini news thing about it, and it was pretty much a former CIA agent, former FBI director, claiming that they found in the National Archives a former top secret file. They uncovered a black and white photo of a woman at the docks in island that was run by Japan. It's the Marshall Islands. And on the dock, there appears to be a white male, some Japanese people, and a white female in slacks.
Now, this may just been a promotion by the History Channel because it did coincide with the anniversary of her plane disappearing, the release of the story. So they might have just been wanting to get some viewership and stuff by promoting this, because a week later, we hear from somebody in Japan trying to debunk this photo.
Somebody in Japan, his name is Kota Yamano, a Tokyo-based blogger, found some same photographs printed in a Japanese-language travelogue published in 1935.
2 years before she disappeared.
I think she died in a crash.
Yeah, this is one of those conspiracies that I think are going to keep going because people want to believe that she's alive. And maybe she did survive and didn't crash. And was abducted by the Japanese and kept somewhere. I don't know if we'll be hearing from her like we are hearing from Adolf Hitler right now, but there's a possibility she's still out there.
In 2011, researchers announced that they would harvest her saliva from envelopes that she licked and would use that later on when they find any kind of bone fragments or anything like that to compare DNA tests.
Now, if the plane crashed into the ocean, they're not ever going to find bone fragments at this point.
You never know.
However, they might find some in Japanese internment camps, things like that, where POW camps.
Let's go to Marshall Island. We're going to do our own research on this, I think.
Yeah, a great vacation spot, I hear.
Yeah, it's run by reptiles.
Of course, because it's an island. There's lots of reptiles on islands.
Calm down now.
You should know. You're part of them, apparently.
Watch it.
Your son is.
Watch it.
Maybe your wife is.
Watch it.
Maybe it's your wife.
Watch it. All right.
Now there's a conspiracy. Your wife and your son are conspiring against you.
There's a conspiracy there. I don't. Yeah, like I said, I don't believe that she was captured by Japanese. I believe there was a plane crash and somewhere in the Bermuda Triangle she lost.
The Bermuda Triangle is nowhere near the Pacific Ocean, which is where she crashed.
That's where I think it is. Actually, no. There are tons of like Bermuda Triangle-esque things around the world.
But it's not the Bermuda Triangle.
Whatever.
The Bermuda Triangle kind of gives you the impression that it is located near Bermuda.
I will shoot you.
No, don't shoot me. I'm just the messenger.
No, there are a lot of Bermuda Triangle-esque points throughout the world.
Okay, they can be Bermuda Triangle-like, but they're not the Bermuda Triangle.
I'm just saying they have the same properties.
You have to come by the right name.
They have the same properties as the Bermuda Triangle, where there are 3 points that in between these 3 said points throughout the world, like different points throughout the world, they have these triangles, as in quotes there, people, that, radio systems don't work, there's higher magnetism, a lot of weirder things.
It doesn't mean she crashed, though. She could be in another universe, parallel. You never know, another dimension.
Oh, you want to
maybe
go
she went
universes.
through. Maybe there's another entrance to the Hollow Earth. Maybe she flat earthed it and went right off the edge in space.
She can't because there's ice caps around the Earth that you can't flat Earth. Fall off flat Earth, whatever.
If you're in a plane, couldn't you?
No.
How is that possible?
It's not. I'm debunking your debunking.
Maybe that's for another episode. Can you fly off the edge of the flat Earth?
We'll have to do a flat Earth episode.
Yes, definitely need a flat Earth episode.
So yeah, the little bit of research actually showed that picture was not a real picture. But there have been claims that she was actually captured by Japanese in that area because that area was heavily guarded and run by the Japanese in the late 30s, which was also World War II time. So
yes, so it's feasible that it would happen.
There is feasible that maybe she
the
got
Japanese,
captured.
Of course, to this day, deny any involvement.
Don't they deny everything?
Of course, and wouldn't you?
I mean,
unless you're a senile Adolf Hitler trying to finally come to terms. Apparently, that I think is open to debate, and I think a lot of people would argue whether or not the life he's led has actually been punishment enough for the atrocities committed during World War II.
It's up to God now. It's up to God now.
Your
know
God.
This. You know this. Come on. This is all your Bible stuff we're talking about.
Wouldn't that be the devil? Like deciding what happens to people in hell?
No, he judgments and then sends them to hell.
Yes, but then
you should know
devil.
This.
But then
your Bible's sitting right there. Open it up and read it.
But wouldn't the devil decide on the punishment? And you would think if the devil likes to cause all sorts of havoc, wouldn't he reward people for that?
And welcome back to the Religious Hour with Jinx. We're now talking angelic and demonic powers. Who decides what happens to you after you pass into the great light?
Why would Lucifer be punishing people? I'm just saying. Okay.
All right. Unfortunately, the History Channel definitely screwed up there.
Definitely. The fact-checking people. I know they're not news, so they can't be fake news, but
they're no CNN.
The History Channel should be
no CNN.
No, the History Channel should be held to some sort of standard of actually reporting history correct. I know history is always subjective to the people writing it, but you can't just make up stuff.
Blame the History Channel, I think, fully for this because it was U.S. Treasury agent Les Kinney who found the photograph and claimed that it was Amelia Earhart, And then former FBI Assistant Director Sean Henry, who was on the History Channel special, claiming that it was Amelia Earhart. So,
you would think that they would at least double check or try to check some sources out beforehand, or do you think that they thought that
would have like
be a legit source?
Would it be a legit source and actually have some knowledge of what's going on with all of this?
You would think so. I mean, and the fact that just some random Japanese person happened to notice that it was the same picture from a brochure.
I don't know what? I don't know if FBI would, because FBI is national affairs, international affairs, or CIA. So maybe we needed somebody from the CIA to come out and talk.
As opposed to somebody dealing with...
who trusts the CIA? I mean, that's run by reptiles, too. I don't trust.
You would know,
I don't
since you're
anybody.
related to them.
I really don't trust anybody.
No,
I don't trust you.
No, you shouldn't.
I can't.
It's okay. It's all right. I'm not a reptile.
And to all you listeners out there, I don't trust any of you either. Okay?
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I can't. No one can be trusted. Just my son and my wife and my daughter.
Yes.
That's it.
Well, no, and I don't think you can trust them now, because apparently they're conspiring against you.
I'm going to conspire against you.
Trying to sabotage your podcast career.
Maybe they are. Maybe they're not.
You missed a whole day of learning and broadcasting.
No, not broadcasting. No!
You were still able to come broadcast on Wednesday, yes.
I will. Not this next Wednesday, though.
See?
I cannot divulge any more information than that. As always.
Yes, you don't want the reptilians to know where you're going to be, but your wife can tell them.
We don't want them to know. As always, I am Chris Dickens.
And I'm Jinx.
We are just the messengers, just delivering them.
Don't shoot us.
Don't shoot us.
You can shoot Chris. It's okay. Hey, you said you were going to shoot me.
Until next week. What are we going to talk about next week, Jinx?
Ooh, I think maybe we'll hit something light like Hollywood stories.
You want to do some Hollywood stuff?
I think that might be good.
All right. Next week, Hollywood conspiracies. Did JFK really bone Marilyn Monroe? Who knows?
Did Kubrick film the moon landing?
Who knows?
Brandon Lee and Bruce Lee. Were they killed by the Chinese triad?
Yes. Yes, that's just a yes. We know. We know that. All right.
Okay. We're in agreement there.
See you guys next week.